So now if we're actually making a real couch, we need to now turn it into some cushions, create some of that space. So one of the first lines I like to make is the line for where the cushions are going to be. So I'm going to decide what kind of thickness of the cushion. So for me, I don't know. So there's the base of the couch. We're going to bring it up to about halfway. Make sure it's to the dot. And then I'll create another line. Again, I'm going to do it pretty lightly because I need to erase it after a certain point. So the arm of the couch has some space. So right here I'm going to go up little ways and then I'll go straight down. So that's going to be the arm of my couch. So I'll get rid of there. And now I have the beginning of an arm. From here I need to go straight sideways. So again I'm going to match it up with this line over here to make sure it's nice and horizontal. And then I will go here. And that has to go all the way back. So at that point, that's kind of done. Now, this is where it'll look better if I do the same thing and make sure I get the same thing, but narrower back here because it's gone farther away. So I make sure I've got the same sort of lines, and you could use your ruler again, obviously, to make those, but there you go. Now I've got an arm at the front and the back. Now, most cushions actually come and reach up and over, so we'll deal with that later. But now I'm going to get rid of this line. And I'm going to make my cushions just a little shorter than the armrests, right? The idea is you sink into them, blah, 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 but it just also gives it a little bit more realistic look because cushions and arms don't usually match up. Then I complete that, and this is where, if you were doing this properly, you'd measure this out. So it's approximately 3 centimeters, so that means at the 1.5 mark. So I made a little mark there, and this line should be straight up and down. Straight up and down. Okay? And then I make my line going straight horizontally from it. And there's my cushion. Now the other line I will need to make sure that you see the inside of this arm. I need another line also matching here. So here I'm kind of paying attention there. And now I should have all the things I need to make sure that looks, and it's starting to make sense. Things look a little weird, but it's definitely making some sense. Here I'm going to drop that down and get rid of that. And now, again, because we ended up dropping our cushions a little lower, this line is important and this line is important, but these two lines actually, this needs to shrink down a little bit to right here, because that's where it actually is going once we dropped our cushion down. So I need to redraw that line. And there that is. Now the other thing that normally happens on a couch is that same line where the two cushions meet is going to also happen up here, so I make sure my line is nice and vertical. And there we go. So now it's starting to look more and more like a couch. Obviously we need a separation between the back of the couch and the cushion itself. So again, it's kind of another horizontal line, another vertical line. I can just hand draw those, no big deal. Can kind of create some sort of shadowy scratchiness back there. And now we're seeing, oh, okay, that's looking more like, again, cushions on a couch. So here I can create a bit of the shadow, right, where that cushion's sitting. No big deal there. Again, this to me, get a little shadowing, and then you need that also shadowed there. So here, this is where we can start to soften these hard corners, make them look a little more round, make it look a little more like a cushion. Couch. And that's not too bad. Again, if you want to make more shadowing or shading in here, also does help. But there, we've got a couch. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just fire them off. I can certainly help you out. But yeah, that'll get you started. You can do all sorts of things with this. You can make it different. You can make it the same. It's up to you. Good luck.